Hello, I'm the Lore Master. Sorry I've been absent these past 2 weeks. There's been a lot of stuff going on, but I want to get at least something out. I'm a person with a very strong work ethic. So every time I don't post a video, be reassured that I'm working my fingers to the bone on a new story for your entertainment. I'm gonna actually do something a little different today that isn't one of my creative stories. It's actually a what if. I know those are popular because I've subscribed to a lot of channels about them. But I was always wondering what would happen if certain things happened in cartoons I loved and watched. This is just one of the scenarios I'm inspired by. Also, I got the inspiration from Ostrog Fox. Check him out in the script, check him out, and hopefully I'll be as big as him one day. So let's go. What if the snap happened in Avatar: The Last Airbender? What if the snap happened in Avatar? For those of you who don't know, the snap refers to Thanos in the Infinity War when he used the powers of the Infinity Stones to wipe out 50% of life in the universe. With that final snap, what did that snap happen in other universes as well? In Avatar: The Last Airbender, what did the Thanos snap? Well, who would die because of the Thanos snap? And what would the effects be? Imagine one day people turning to dust around you. Friends, family, and neighbors. Just nothing you can do to stop it. Animals and other creatures turning to dust as well. In the Avatar, after the boss in Sayark, before Zuko joins Team Avatar, the people would be affected by this would be Katara, because Sokka and Toph would turn to dust, leaving only 2 of Team Avatar left. And it would spread. Chaos would spread around all of Ba Sing Se. Aang would have no idea what was going on. The only thing he could think of was that this was the Fire Nation. But how would they be able to pull something like this off? However, in the Fire Nation, Azula and Zuko would be planning their latest attack on the Avatar when a lot of their soldiers and people in the palace start fading away as well, which could only horrify Zuko and leave Azula disturbed by that. And then she realizes something. What happens if the Fire Lord himself disappears? That's where she runs out of her meeting and runs to his room, only to see him vanish before her eyes. All he can do is say Azula before he turns to dust and vanishes. Azula would have a mental breakdown, far worse than in the show's canon. And Zuko would run towards her, seeing his sister completely break down would have a lasting effect on him and would fuel his anger to the Avatar, which once Azula had calmed down, she would blame on Aang, believing that he had done something terrible, that was even more monstrous than what her father or she could come up with in a million years. The Fire Nation would be in a panic, and Azula, being active Fire Lord, would use the panic to her advantage. She would turn the entire Fire Nation against the Avatar himself, and use their anger and fear to hunt them down, one by one, and wipe them out. Meanwhile, in Ba Sing Se, it would become a wasteland. A civil war could break out, and without the Dai Li to keep everything in order, it would collapse. The city would be in utter chaos. Aang would have to try and bring order back to the city and bring peace. However, he would still be shooken by the disappearance of his friends and would have no idea what to do. As time went forward, the Earth Kingdom is reduced to a few fighting city-states within itself, while the Fire Nation is going into maximum overdrive, preparing for a war that will be far worse than anything they have ever seen. And as time goes on, Azula becomes more paranoid, more psychotic, with the pressure of wanting the Fire Nation getting to her, along with the fact that 50% of her subjects were wiped out as well. And for all she knows, it could happen again and again, until the Avatar is satisfied, which would really play into her paranoia and sense of fear. However, she would actually realize that the only one closest to her was Zuko, and since he had great experience hunting the Avatar, she would trust him into hunting him down, while she won the Fire Nation, and give him every resource available to hunt him down. While Aang, after quelling the chaos in the city, would begin to talk with the avatars in the Avatar state, which would allow him to try and get a grip of what was happening, only for him to realize 50% of the avatars inside the Avatar state have been gone as well. No one knows what happened to them. The only thing the other avatars know is this has to be something in the spirit world. So Aang convinces Katara to go into the spirit world with him and hopefully find not only Sokka and Toph, but the reason why this happened. And meanwhile, while the two are gone in the spirit world, I can see characters like Jet using this to their advantage, using hatred of the Fire Nation extremely to his advantage, which will cause more and more anger and frustration. Sorry about shaking, it's just really cold and I drank ice water. 4 bottles to be exact, so if I'm shaking like a leaf, I'm completely fine. I'm just freezing like a Eskimo in Alaska. So this is a lot of my ideas for what would happen in the scenario. But I hope to have more of these videos online and out if they do well. Thank you for listening and watching. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.